same sort of quantities. You can compare any two things, like marks will be compared with marks, like rupees will be compared with rupees, and dollars will be compared with the dollars. And similarly, two similar quantities are compared together. So it's a comparison of two similar quantities. Normally you write it as A ratio B, or in other form we also write it as A over B. Both have the same meaning or same sense. Either you write A ratio B or A over B. Both ways you can write it. And the point is this, that it has no unit, because once you are comparing two similar quantities, their units are cancelled, so ratio has no unit. So keep it in your mind. There is no unit for ratio. If you move a little bit ahead, another definition that we will use for this is called proportion. It is called proportion is a comparison of two ratios. Two ratios. For example, if we have a quantity or a pair of ratios, A ratio B, and you want to compare it to another ratio, this is called C ratio D. A ratio B is a one part of ratio, and C ratio D is another ratio, and you want to compare two double ratios, so you write it like this one. So this is called the proportion. So comparing two ratios is called proportion, and you can obviously write it as A over B is equals to C over D. You can equate this one like this one. So this is called proportion. It is the second definition that we will use for exercise 3.1. Similarly, one more thing that we will use in this exercise, that is about variation, because title of the chapter is about variation. You people have done the variation many times in physics, in chemistry, and obviously in your previous syllabus. So first one is called direct variation. So direct variation is, this is very important definition, but it's very easy. So I'm writing here first variation. This is called direct variation. Variation stands for, the word variation stands for to change something which cannot remain constant. That is called the variation. Now we have to understand what is meant by the direct variation. So direct variation is if x and y are two quantities or values such that if we increase value of x and due to this value of y also increases, we say x and y are in direct variation. So I have written the definition in my own words or in simplest word, but if you write it in mathematical form, we will write it as x is, this is a sign of proportionality, x is directly proportional to y, like this one, And if you want to remove this sign of proportionality, you must have learned that we will place some constant for the equality sign, and the constant is normally written as k. Now the point is this, that is it necessary that if there will be only increase in one quantity causes decrease in causes increase in the other quantity. So such two values can be understood by rewriting them. That you have to either if you increase one quantity and consequently the other quantity also increases, then we call both of these are in the relationship of direct variation. And similarly, if the one quantity decreases and due to this effect or due to the decrease in first quantity there is decrease in the other quantity, again they are called indirect relations. So either the increase in one quantity causes increase in the other quantity, or increase in one quantity causes increase in one quantity causes increase in other quantity. This is the example of direct variation. And similarly, if you decrease first quantity and it also decreases the second quantity, even then this is called a direct variation. You don't have to write these definitions, you have to understand all of these definitions so that we can apply them to the relevant numericals. All these definitions are written on the very first page of chapter number 3. If you have the textbook, you will be able to see there. I'm just explaining the things so that we can apply them to the numericals. So this is a normally a mathematical form. In mathematical form, we write the direct variation like this one. Either there is increase in one quantity or decrease in one quantity. In both ways, we have to write like this one. So the first point is this, that we should be very well aware of it, that what is the relationship between the two quantities. Either they are in direct variation. So whenever the two quantities are in direct variation, we always write this expression x and y like this pattern. So this is about the direct variation. Now, if you look at the questions of the exercise, so from 3.1, so I wanted to share with you, like this is a question. If you look at the question 3.1, express following as a ratio A ratio B and as a fraction in its simplest lowest form. So you will notice that first 5 parts are quite easy, but in all of these parts, what is important that we have to uh, make the unit same for the two quantities. Like in the very first part, you can see that this is 750 and this is 1250. Both have the same unit, that is unit is rupees. So if you have the same units, so you can directly write it as I explained you in the form of A ratio B format. And similarly, for the second question, you will see the one quantity is in meters and the first one is in centimeters. So they are not same, they are different. So for that purpose, we will have to make the unit same. That will be the first task, and then we will move for the comparison or taking the ratio as well. So we will solve few questions. I will write the few questions on the page and then I will solve for you. If you can, I'm just going to lock the classroom because I'm feeling that few students are still entering here. Convert 3 meters into centimeters. So that will be easy for you. So 3 times, it will become 300 centimeters. So you have to write 400 centimeter ratio 300 centimeters. So now what you have to do, simply have to go for the cancellation, like zeros will be cancelled. And if you cancel it with 15, 15 twos are and 15 threes are. So in simple words, because we are asked to simplify the given ratio into lowest form means that you have to cancel it out unless no more further cancellation can be done. So this is the simplest ratio. 3 ratio 2 is the ratio of 450 meter and 450 centimeter and 3 meters. So if they are simplified in a ratio, it will be simplified like this one. In a very similar way, this is third part 4 kg and we have to take its ratio with 2 kg and 750 gram. So I always prefer or recommend that you should convert larger units to smaller unit because they will give you some ease to simplify the question. So for that purpose, you should write, I have to rewrite the third part right here. So that is 4 kgs. So if you convert, you know that 1 kg is equals to 1000 gram. So 4 kgs will become obviously 4000 grams. And similarly, we have 2 kgs and 750 grams. First, we will convert 2 kgs into grams. So 2 kgs will become, because of this unit, 2000 grams. And we have to convert 2 kg and 750 grams. So what you should do, that we should write in this form, and 2 kgs are 2000 grams plus 750, so it will become 2750 grams. So you are in a position now to compare 4 kgs and 2 kg 750 gram. First you should solve it separately and then you should go for the comparison. So you will write it as 4000 ratio 2750, like this one. So what will you do, that you will go for the cancellation. Terms will be cancelled. We will having 400 and 275. So you can use your calculator or you can use your any estimation to simplify the expression. So 400 and 275, if you cancel it out by 5, for example, so it will be 5 8s are 40 and 5 5s are 25 and 5 5s are 25. And if you further cancel it out again by 5, for example, it will be 11. 5 1s are 5 and 5 6 are. Now 16 11 will be the ratio for the simplification. One of the students or any one of the students, please keep on checking the answers. If there is some error, to just inform me so that I can correct it. So this is how you will simplify 4 kgs and 2 kg 750 grams. So my point is this, that you should learn the method or the procedure. Questions can be different. So what is important for it, that you should have to make the units same first, because if the units are in kgs, grams, or even in, they can be in milligrams as well. So what will you do, that you should
सर हमने इसमें रफ वर्क शो करना है
look, जो